So, Michael, what is the power list?
The Powerlist is a selection of role models that we show to young people, particularly young Black people. Selection of Black role models that we show to young people. It came out of the idea, some nearly 15 years ago now, that at the time especially, there were very few, what we like to call realistic role models being shown in the media. So what we decided, I'm a lawyer who became a journalist.
Right.
What we decided to do was put together a number of prominent people from the African and African Caribbean communities of the UK who were doing really well sort of in professional pursuits.
Right.
When I say professional, I mean in the widest possible sense, to include the arts and the sciences and quite literally the professions. So, law, accountancy, financial services, and things like that. And up until that point, nobody had really done that at the sort of level that we were looking at. So the Power List came about largely because of my own personal experience. I grew up in London, in South London, until I was 14. And when I was 14, I went to live in Nigeria. Up until that point, I'd never seen, and this is in the mid to late 70s. Up until that point, I'd never seen a person of African or African Caribbean heritage who was a lawyer, or who was a doctor, or who was an architect, or anything anyone from a sort of professional background like that. And what the effect of that was that my ambition set was quite low down. I thought I might become some sort of a sportsman. I used to do some boxing and stuff like that. And if I hadn't become a sportsman, I might have got into some sort of manual trade. A lot of the people I grew up with, both Black and white, ended up not really doing a great deal at all. And in fact, even till today, quite a few of them are not really doing much and haven't really done much with their lives. And it was just that environment that you grew up in. It's very easy to start getting involved in petty crime and things. Right. And one of the reasons for that was because we didn't understand what the opportunities really were. We didn't see them. They weren't put in our face in school. In fact, in my secondary school, I don't think I ever heard the word university. So I would never have gone to university. So when I went to Nigeria now, it was a completely different story. As a journalist, I ended up running, I went the sort of a strange way around in journalism. Most people go from minority press into mainstream. I went from mainstream to minority. And it was a group that had both Black and Asian titles. And on the Asian side of the group, it was really interesting. They tended to celebrate success. So they do like a big event where, they'd celebrate the richest Asians. I think it's still going, actually. Yeah, which they had a thing called the Asian Rich List. On the Black side of the group, we didn't have that. And quite often we'd have what I would call victim of the week on the front page. And I'm thinking to myself, why are we portraying ourselves as victims? And who on earth is going to buy a publication that showcases its readership as being people who aren't doing well? People like success. People like to read about people like them being successful. So we changed it and we decided to put more positive news in the publication. And that led to the idea of running what was supposed to be the equivalent of what the Asian side of the group was doing with the Asian Rich List. And we said we're going to do a Black Power List. So who are the most influential Black people in the UK? We didn't want to do a Black Rich List because we thought it would be a bit crass and it would be full of footballers and entertainers. So that's what we decided to do. We ran the first one. It was very successful. The mayor's office got wind of it and asked if they could use it as the guest list for a big dinner they were doing to celebrate the unveiling of a statue for Nelson Mandela in Parliament Square.
Right.
They did that, and it was a great dinner. I went back to the board afterwards and I said to them, look, we need to invest in this because this can become a thing. This can become something that's quite good. They didn't get it, but I was really confident that this could happen. Right. And I decided to leave and do it myself.
Right.
So I left the job, set up my business and did it myself. And as I say, so initially the whole idea behind it was to inspire young people in the same way that I'd been inspired going to Nigeria, was to inspire young people here, young black kids here, without sort of sending them 5,000 miles away to catch malaria, which happened to me quite a few times, right. I have to say. But no, jokes apart, it was basically as a role model guide for young people. Right.